Greetings viewer, welcome to CARITAS Focus. My name is Flavia Kunihira. Today we continue discussing the reintegration program under CARITAS Uganda, designed to help individuals living in European countries to return home. On this very episode, we deep dive into the steps involved in helping these individuals return home and the impact it has on the returnees and the community at large. Today we host Mr. Mitala, the one in charge of this program. You're most welcome.
Hello viewers, my name is Dorothy Mitala. I work with CARITAS Uganda. I'm in charge of the reintegration program run by CARITAS Uganda.
Could you briefly describe what the reintegration program is all about under CARITAS Uganda?
Thank you so much, Flavia. The reintegration program in CARITAS Uganda is to reintegrate people who have migrated to Europe and they become vulnerable and have nowhere to stay. They have no appointments. Their papers cannot allow them to stay properly in the country where they have run. Countries like Denmark, Austria, Belgium, Netherlands, and Germany.
What are the steps involved to help individuals return from Europe back home under the program?
We have a number of steps. We do it in phases. There is an organizations that came together in Europe. They are called the European Reintegration Support Network organizations. They came together to help those returnees from different kinds of the world. Any country like Africa, Ukraine, and other countries who have migrated into Europe. And these states, these organizations, they come together and help them to help the displaced right now when they are there in the European countries. They have migrated there, but they cannot stay there, and that's how we start with. They report to the police, and then the police take them on and then hand them over to these organizations. These organizations are the ones that report to us and request CARITAS Uganda to take care of these stranded people in Europe.
What kind of help does CARITAS Uganda offer to these individuals when they return back home?
Well, once they're in Europe, a video call is made between CARITAS Uganda and the European countries, and then these stranded or vulnerable people who are stranded in Europe, they are asked which sort of support they would like to take on once they return to Uganda. For instance, one would wish to start a piggery project or build on a house. Usually they pick on projects that they had done before they left Uganda. And so this package is debated on between the three of us, CARITAS Uganda, the case that is coming back home, and then the councillors from the other country. And then a project is set, but though it might be big, it might be extremely expensive, but it is limited to around 1,500 euros or 2,000 euros. Usually it comes up to around 1 million shillings. I mean 10 million shillings. Yes.
How do fellow returnees play a role in welcoming and supporting those that are on their journey to come back home?
The journey has been going on, and so CARITAS Uganda thought it would be easy for the returnees who have come back to Uganda, because they have experience of what has happened in Europe and what is taking place in the country, and they could play a bigger role to encourage the others to come back, and also they help us in the counseling to really give them strength so that they can come back, and then they have someone they can discuss with. They've been discussing with this person in Europe, and also they can discuss with this person while he has come back to Uganda, and this gives the returnee courage and keeps them very strong to stay back in their own country.
Why is the involvement of fellow returnees crucial in this process of helping those that are coming back home?
This is it is a sort of a relationship, brotherhood relationship. Also in your own family, when your brother talks to you and encourages you, take on the project. So when this person, the new case comes in and then sees the old case, the old case is much stronger and very conversant with what has taken place, and so he or she gives him courage, and he can push on. And where he finds a problem, they can also assist us. I did it this way, I did it that way. You come on. I'll accompany you, and then we can proceed.
Okay. Could you give an example of how a returnee has positively impacted another returnee's reintegration experience?
Right now, on the Denmark, that is the Danish Refugee Council's website, we have a case of one of our returnees who came from Europe and wanted to do transport project. I won't mention their names because they have not accepted that I should say their names right now at this moment. So he wanted to do transport, and he wanted to buy boda. He wanted to run a boda as a business. And yet, before, there was a returnee, and this was a lady, also wanted to do a boda. She did a boda and was very successful and opened up another business within the boda. So I made CARITAS Uganda made the arrangement so that these two people can meet, but they had to consent for them being together. Sometimes they don't like to meet one another. Sometimes they do want and encourage. It is up to them. It's up to one's way of feeling. So they came together. The lady gave him hope, and I think we made 3 appointments, and this new case took on the boda, and he has taken it on. He has even sold one and opened the kiosk, and right now he's doing also tree planting in the islands of Lake Victoria, but throughout a boda. And the other lady is far away in what is the place called? Well, it is in Buganda area, but I've forgotten the name of the village. But she's doing produce with this boda. Yes, and she has also put up, tried to get the profits. She has used them for her house. Yes.
What are some of the common challenges faced by returnees when they come back home in Uganda?
It is really psychological, because some of them have moved out of Uganda when they have sold everything of theirs, and when they went to Europe, they didn't achieve what they hoped to. Mainly it is economical problems which take them to Europe. because they don't have enough money. They believe that they will get a lot of money when they go to Europe, yet they live on the streets. So coming back, it is a shame. Though one has voluntarily agreed to come back home, but when they come back, they fear their families are going to laugh at them, their friends are going to laugh at them. They are putting on the same T-shirts that they took on, they put on when they were going to Europe. It is really very sad. So it is really bothering their minds a lot.
How does CARITAS Uganda address these challenges to ensure a smooth reintegration process?
It is continuous counseling and giving them hope. Continuous counseling. Actually, these returnees, they can even call you in the night crying, I'm facing this. And others have faced problems like being beaten when they go to areas. They want maybe to show off, to think that they are super, yet they are not really super. They have had too much in Europe, and then also coming back, they are facing a similar sort of situation. But CARITAS Uganda has to help counseling them so that they pick up. And with the package that is given to them, it will also boosts their stay being good.
How important is community involvement in the reintegration process?
CARITAS Uganda requests the community to give these returnees assistance. For instance, if they want to get their national IDs, because most of them have went when they didn't have national IDs, and then coming back they can hardly do anything without a national ID. So the community has to help the community where they live. And we call them to identify them and then to give them guidance on how the situation is in the area, to be careful, not to join thugs, but to keep on following what they aimed at when coming back.
What are the future plans of the reintegration process to ensure its impact and success?
With CARITAS Uganda, really what we want to do is to make sure that all the cases that have come back can reunite and then, give each other strength, give strength to the ones who have not yet gone to Europe, who wish to go to Europe, tell them about what Europe is if you go without papers. It's not bad to go to Europe, but you have to migrate when you have papers to let you stay in Europe and you live comfortable. And when the time comes for coming back, please, there is no need why you stay in Europe. You need to come back. So when they meet, they give each other's encouragement, advice, and then way forward. And also help those ones who have remained in Europe, that Europe is not everything, come back home.
What motivates you and your team to ensure that the reintegration program is successful?
It is the success of the returnees once they are seated in their homes, meeting their families. Some have got married, some have opened up big businesses, and it is my happiness to see that they can they can help one another.
What motivates you and your team to continue supporting the returnees settled back in their home country?
Is to make sure the public. Actually, this I think you are talking about the families around them and so on. It's not to let your children go to Europe thinking he or she has gone to Europe for good, for very, for happiness, yet it is not happiness, and then you let go. So families ought to talk to their children, tell them how Europe is, and they shouldn't allow their children to go without papers.
What message would you like to give to the returnees who are hesitant to come back home?
I was in the Netherlands, and I happened to see some of those who are hesitant to come back. But I was only encouraging them that staying here in a cubicle of 10 people and you are not having good life, you are only being paid just maybe $10 a day, euros a day, that is no use. You come back home, you are very energetic, you have the ideas, you know what Uganda is full of, the land is good, and everything is in Uganda. Come back and enjoy Uganda and be prosperous.
Thank you so much, Miss Dorothy Mitala, for shedding more light on this essential program. And to our viewers, thank you for tuning in. We encourage us to be able to support our returnees fit within our communities comfortably and ensure a smoother reintegration program. I've been Flavia Kunihira, your host. Until next time.